Namaste, angels. This is the new moon in Scorpio reading. It will be in effect or cover the period through November 23rd at 12:39 a.m. when we will experience the full moon, 0 degrees Gemini 52. Looking forward to that with 0 meaning God force or cipher, depending on how you look at it, which is pretty much the same thing. And 52 also meaning God or spirituality. I think that Gemini moon is going to be super, super interesting. Also the 12 and the 39 from 12:39 a.m. both equaling 3, which is another number that's representative of the Creator and the Trinity, of course. I think this is going to be a very spiritual moon. The date also equals 9. November 11, 23rd, 5 equals 7, plus 2 for 2018 equals 9. I think that means something also. So looking forward to that full moon and getting rid of some of the things that come up now that we first begin to tackle, right? New beginnings in particular areas of things maybe deep within our psyche, because of the Scorpio full moon. And right before I started this reading, it was 12:12 when I started it, by the way, on the 7th. Although normally I do it at least a day in advance. I'm doing it on the day of at 12:12 in the afternoon. But right before I started, I was about to just go and tell you what I just said, basically, my feelings on the Scorpio new moon. And last minute, I was made to type it into Google, Scorpio new moon, and this very first thing that came up. So this is definitely what I was meant to look at, because I took a peek at it like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's what I was going to say. It's pretty much exactly what I was going to say, perhaps more eloquently. So we're going to do that. It's www.refinery29.com. New-moon-November-2018-Scorpio-meaning-astrology. And it looks like it was written yesterday at 9 a.m. It's not scrolling by. A woman named Sarah Coughlin. The new moon in Scorpio will urge you to open up. Back in October, the new moon took place in the diplomatic sign of Libra and called on us to focus on our relationships with others. This month, the pensive lunar phase will occur on Wednesday, November 7th in Scorpio and shine a spotlight on the darkest, most cluttered corners of our psyches. Then ask us to dig right in. If you've never observed a new moon, you can think of this as a mirror image, literally and spiritually, of a full moon, where the moon appears completely illuminated and lights up the night sky. When it's full, the moon is essentially invisible when it's new, as it has lost all illumination. Where the full moon is associated with the culmination of our work from the last month and hopefully any rewards that come with those accomplishments, the new moon indicates a period of planning, preparation, and reflection. The new moon urges us to seek out and to understand the potential for progress in an area of our lives. This month, that area is our subconscious, as that is ruled by Scorpio. So again, I think that's going to be super interesting. And with the full moon and the new moon together for November in consideration, Scorpio being subconscious and Gemini being logic, I think that this month is a lot of our psyche period. Not only the depths that we haven't yet explored perhaps, but as a whole, by the end of this month, just having realized a lot about ourselves. Tremendous. So yeah, she gave me the words because I think that probably what I said before that alluded to what I just read. So on that note, I can pretty much get into the reading. I do want to just recap quickly some of the other things that are going on in the celestial system simultaneous to this moon. And that would be, let's just do all of November. For the large transits. So November 6th, the true node entered Cancer, which means the south node entered Capricorn. That's huge because they're going to remain there, both of them, through May of 2020. Yes, the year 2020 from now. So that's a huge transit. Uranus retrograde entered Aries. So it left Taurus, where it will ultimately be for a total of about 8 years, temporarily to enter Aries. And the other day, I think during the love reading, I said it was going to join Chiron there, forgetting at the time that Chiron entered Pisces at the end of September. And then the other day I was sitting here watching TV or something, I think, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, Chiron's in Pisces, not Aries. It's so random, so Gemini of me, like this random thought, but that is the truth. It is in Pisces. On the 7th, which is today, it's the moon. So should we talk about Chiron and Pisces a little bit? Or just do this? So maybe if it comes up, I'll do it, because I'm expecting that there may be a lot of water, again, because the true node is now Cancer. This is the Scorpio moon reading. The sun is also still in Scorpio. Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. Neptune, Pisces ruler, is retrograde there in its home sign. So again, Chiron is also retrograde in Pisces right now. And that may be it for the water, but isn't that enough? That was plenty. So if it comes up, maybe I'll go a little further into depth about what the Chiron in Pisces means as opposed to Aries. Well, I'll just do it now. Never mind. Chiron and Aries people, which I myself am, that's where my Chiron in my chart lays. I'm a natal Chiron and Aries. We are people who sort of fall down and get back up, and might not even ever mention that we fell down, even if it was traumatic. I fell down. Not only did I fall down, but I broke my leg, and I'm just going to hop to the hospital and get it fixed and not say anything to anybody about it and keep it moving. That's Chiron and Aries. Chiron in Pisces is more, because Pisces is about our depths, dreams, fantasies, deep emotions. Pisces rules the higher love, basically, above even, like Libra and Venus ruled signs. Higher love is Neptune and Pisces. So with that, during this period, or a period of Chiron in Aries, we may not only, similar to the Scorpio thing, experience parts of ourselves or be faced with them, particularly while it's moving backwards or given the appearance of moving backward while in retrograde, going into deep parts of ourselves, maybe for a first time, and examining them. We also, during this period, may find ourselves drawn to wounded people that we may not even really want to heal, or them drawn to us, or both. And then when we come together, realizing not only do I, not necessarily want to work on healing this person because I need my own, and I need my energy to heal me, which may sound selfish, but that's what it is, actually. You can look up Chiron and Pisces yourself if you don't want to see it, if you want to see. But I'm not sure I can heal you. And maybe because of that, right? Because I've been working on me or need to work on me, I lack the energy that's required to, in a fair way, not in an unselfish way, commit to, healing you properly. If I were capable of it, I can't do it right now. So that's what we may experience with the Chiron and Pisces aspect of it. All right, so on that note, I'm going to begin with a spread from the perspective of the Divine Masculine using my butterfly cards because they remind me of the sign of Scorpio, right? And the metamorphosis that's involved in, the change, the death and rebirth, coming back as something new. Going in as a caterpillar and emerging as a butterfly is very Scorpio to me. Gracefully aging, I've been feeling, is about the progress that we're making spiritually, the growth. In large part because of Jupiter, which has been in Pisces for a long time, leaves tomorrow actually, and enters Sagittarius, its home sign, but has been there. And opening to dietary change. So something that we consume, not necessarily food or drink, right? Not even necessarily something edible, but something that we take in. It could be information. It could be changing a value system. Yeah, we're going to go a different way. Dietary change and moving, which these two can be connected, moving from one ideology or belief system to another. This could be more literal, and came up several times during the last moon reading. Those who want to check out the moon reading, if you haven't already, that went through today, moving was a big part of it. So it looks like we're still on that theme. Moving. And support. Maybe connected to Chiron. Lastly, relationship dynamics. On that note, I'm going to stop. Support and cut. Forgiveness required for the change in relationship dynamics. Overall energy is new exercise program, which can also mean different things. Could be literally a new exercise program, because that is promoted by several of these transits that we go on, including the new moon in Scorpio. A push to do that. The Uranus in Taurus, and now even more so perhaps with Aries. A push to take action in areas where we've been, slacking before. So maybe exercise, getting ourselves in shape, more healthy. But then also, like the rights that we exercise, the practices, right? The things that we exercise. Maybe a change in those. Again, a new belief system. Maybe new priorities. Hopefully with yourself, coming somewhere at the top, at or near the top of that list of priorities. New. The divine feminine. This is, single and coupled. Separation and physical contact. Divine feminine, the masculine, as it relates to the feminine himself, and on the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union, what he himself is willing to, do, surrender, contribute. What the universe would have the two do, but they'll have to affirm to do it for the full support. And I was thinking when I saw that card, support, that it meant support of the universe. Yes, to get the full support of the universe, we will have to affirm that we will take their advice and follow through on it, right? Prayer without works is dead. James 2:14. So let's do this. Divine feminine. End of an era. So this can mean so many things. Of which we're letting go. That goes toward our healing. This could be connected to Chiron. This could be connected to the new moon or to the full moon that we experienced last time. We let some stuff go. Here's the new start. I'm feeling that it can be very, very literal for some of us too, in that like long chapters of our lives, relationships, jobs, maybe even raising kids. Our kids are grown is coming to me. Like it's a real change. Moving from the house that we, had always been in or had long been in. The masculine as it relates to the feminine right now, or over the period of the 2 weeks. Dietary change. So maybe the things that he takes in her regard, maybe the stuff that he's willing to listen to that he's not. He's been getting bad advice for a long time from people that are not really his friends. Will cease to take that in. Changing his outlook on different things. as it relates to the feminine. Just like I talked about, I won't talk about it too long on that one because I talked about this card before when I was shuffling. The masculine as it relates to himself, religion and spirituality. He's aging gracefully, the card we started with. This is about the growth and makes perfect sense in connection to dietary change. Why is he has a change of heart or change of mind as it relates to certain things with regard to the feminine? Because he is going through something too. A metamorphosis as it relates to religion and spirituality. Or, in other words, his ideals, his ideologies, his belief systems, whatever they are, whether they're religious or spiritual or not. You know, things that he's holds dear or has for a long time, releasing them, breaking them. For some, yesterday in the United States, that meant like changing the way we vote and stuff. People who traditionally voted one way, voting another. That sort of thing. Ideologies changing so that we can, or as it relates to the feminine. So, you know, as a toward their relationship dynamic, improving it. The masculine and the union as a whole. Seeking and finding. So, I think this in itself has a message for both those who are coupled and those who are single, is finding that other half of yourself. But like consciously looking for it, consciously being aware, maybe through his newfound or newly grown, expanded consciousness, perhaps a la Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, karma, which has been located in Scorpio for a long time, since last October, having brought us to this place of where he's more awakened. And again, he has that growing consciousness and spirituality. And so now he's in an intentional way seeking out these pieces of himself that are, you know, missing. And the feminine is at least one place where to find that, or where to find some of those. So that's his feeling about the union as a whole. Overall, memories. It can be a lot of things. Fond memories of the past together. Memories of things that maybe that brought us to this place. Things that we had to change. I remember I used to be like that. Now I'm like this. I've grown. Many ways to look at that. What the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union right now, what she is to work on. Welcome the new. I love that. I think that this may have been our card for the last moon reading too. I'm not positive, but I think it may have been. Welcome the new. I like that. And it's sitting here under end of an era. So, right? Out with the old, in with the new is what's here laid before us. And doesn't that show the alignment between the feminine higher self, the collective feminine higher self, and the collective masculine higher self, that they would choose these cards, the feminine for us and the masculine for us here. What the masculine himself is willing to do toward the union right now, emotions. So maybe doesn't this go with water, right? Scorpio, the king of water in the tarot, is someone who is not afraid of his emotions, not afraid to show them, but he's not like drenched in them. You know, they're in check. They're in control. He's not to, one extreme or the other. He's got it together, very balanced, unless he's in reverse, right? Then you're in trouble. But that's what the emotions are. And notice the not only the color, but the same design or very similar design in these two cards, because this changes when this changes and vice versa. So in both cards, we've got these pink roses in the back and a butterfly, front and center. That's not the way any of these other cards look. Butterfly to the side here. The whole picture is not full of flowers. It's a lot of greenery instead. Butterfly to the side, greenery. Butterfly to the side, greenery. This one a little bit more forward facing, but still a lot of greenery. Less flower, and certainly not pink. And this one too, butterfly to the side. So there's a reason that these two cards are almost the same. And it's the connection between these two. Also, pink does represent, not only in general, but as it relates to the archangels, for example, pink is connected to Venus. Pink is connected to love in general, the heart, sensitivity, right? Sort of a softness. But it's Archangel Chamuel's color also. He is represented by pink. He is the Archangel of unconditional love. So I think that that's a message that's coming out of here as well. And then also what I'm noticing, you see here the blue butterfly, and here the more white, silver perhaps. And this resembles to me more ice, like this is a Venus. And this blue more of the water, like this is a Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars, Venus's counterpart. So I'm seeing a lot of things and feeling a lot of things about these two cards, as you guys can see. All right. What the universe would have the two of us to do, and it will support us with it. Be true to you. How awesome is this? The universe is saying, you want to make changes to what you take in? You want to experience a new, higher consciousness, the way that you have been guided to do, called to do? Do it. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about what friends think, family think. When I was talking about what he's been listening to, who's been in his ear, frenemies and things, is what I was getting from this. This card very much tied into that for both. Do what's in your heart to do, what you feel is right. Follow your new belief systems or none. Like release all the constructs. Maybe that's the end of the era. Dropping all constructs. Whatever it is, the universe wants to support you in it fully, but you have to commit to this. You have to affirm to it. You have to be real about, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be living in my truth. Not part-time, you know, not in the morning and then at night I do something different. I'm committing to it, and the universe is going to fully support us and, you know, knock down barriers and things along the way, remove obstructions and obstacles along the way that would prohibit it. That's having the universe's full support. That's what that means. And the outcome. Self-employment. I love it. Because yes, this can be literal too. They all can. But also it's like living, loving, perhaps even working on your own terms. You are the boss. You are in control of your life, your destiny, your thoughts, your words, your perception becomes your reality, not other people's. How's that for a new exercise program? That was our overall energy there. Now for the perspective from the universe, I'm beginning with Eternal Flame and opening to Tantric Union. So again, we're starting out with some matching as it relates to the colors cards here. Tantric Union, a very 5D sort of existence and connection. A lot deeper than sex or physical contact. Sometimes that's not even involved. It can be involving telepathy and things. And eternal flame, you know, just it can never be extinguished, the connection, basically. I don't know if you heard all those sirens. They they had stopped, and as soon as I said the word sirens, there was one. Yeah, I was trying to, how hilarious is that? I was trying to tune it out, but I felt that it was in connection to, you know, healing in these areas here. And this may be like one of the depths that we reach in our psyche because of the Scorpio new moon. And on that note, the sirens are gone. Don't you love that? Divine guidance. So here's the moon, right? The support of the universe is infinite. He's like a big infinity symbol. Or maybe it's a number 8, which represents karma. The moon represents feminine energy of surrender, and we're guided to do that. Tantric union and reflection, connected perhaps to memories from the last spread, looking back on what we've experienced. How does it connect? How does it relate, if at all, to moving forward? So what should I leave behind? And what should I take with me? Did I forget something that I need to go back for? That's what reflection is about. Tantric union. And we've come to embrace, which is a very temperance-like card. For me, temperance, very much about healing, a karmic healing energy, as in of the universe. Jupiter, the planet of karma, ruler of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the card in the tarot represented by the temperance card. For me, it's also connected to Aquarius, but that's because on most actual temperance cards in any given tarot deck, there is a water bearer on the front of the card. But the water bearer also a very healing energy to me, or just even the concept of it, like somebody tending to you with the waters. So anyway, this is about healing, and it looks like a couple in a very loving hug, right? I enjoy this kind of hug. I'm sure most of us do. But really, what this card represents and is one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in a harmonious way. So this is individual health. Overall energy is message from afar. This can be actual long distance calls, contact between people here in the 3D, or it can be even further than that. Your direct connection to the universe, and that veil between our realm and the spiritual realms still remaining thin. As a matter of fact, today, the day on which I'm doing this reading, is Diwali, the feast of light over dark, good over evil, celebrated in many parts of the East, as well as Trinidad and Tobago. This can be the telepathy that I was talking about too, between two partners. You're receiving something, or even in your dreams, receiving a message. Could be Jupiter. Could be Mars, right? The red planet speaking to you. This could also be representative of a fire sign in your life. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Divine being or couple. Recent past. Masculine's higher self. Near future. Blocks to union. What a feminine can do. What the masculine can do. Further advice for the two from the universe, but again, they will have to affirm it. And the outcome. Divine couple or being. Trilogy of light. Here's that trinity that I was talking about in the beginning. This is us trying to grow. We started out with the last deck with growing, aging gracefully. And this is us, to me, ever trying to grow nearer and dearer to the universe. This is the divine masculine and the divine feminine and, you know, the universe. In not necessarily in that order. It's going to be the feminine and the masculine and the universe. That's the Trinity. Recent past. Heaven on earth. Air and fire. You know what? Yeah. Aquarius and Leo. The true node. The south node. That's one thing. Mars is also in Aquarius, but that's still the case. I think the first thing that I saw when I picked up this card was the nodes having switched. That's the recent past, for real. So anyway, what this card is about, Heaven on Earth, is our need to let go of something that is taking up the space that our new blessing is to occupy. We have to vacate the space. We are holding on to something. So sort of like when the death card shows up in a tarot deck, and it means that we're, you know, there's something of which we need to let go, and we're sort of holding on to it. That's what this card speaks of. If you want to experience heaven on earth, you have to let go of the hell. So if you're holding on to a toxic relationship because of, you know, fear, ego, whatever, pride, the comfort, right, and convenience of remaining in this old relationship, even if it makes you miserable otherwise and all that, then you are preventing your new relationship from coming to you. I had a client the other day that I performed a divine light cleanse, and all of a sudden, all kinds of, you know, as it's supposed to, blocks that she had been experiencing began to clear. She heard from an old friend right away. Her divine masculine came back after a long separation. Then her car broke down. And she was in a place by then where she was able to, you know, say, you know what, I'm not going to freak out about this. And then later that night, she found herself driving off the lot with her first new car that she'd ever bought. So that's the sort of thing, like, that was the universe coming through and her very quickly manifesting this thing of the old car is of what I need to let go. So as soon as she did that, in that moment of accepting, you know what, I'm not going to freak out about this. It's a material thing. I'm going to let it go. The universe made a way for her to replace it with new. Near future. Blessings. Isn't that what I just described? When you let go of these old things that are blocking you, the blessings come. You clear the way for them. Masculine's higher self. Eternal flame. This is reflective, or was reflected in the last spread too, where it showed what he was going through and what he had moved toward. Spirituality, changing his belief system, emotions, dietary change, right? That's because he's feeling a new feeling, and he's reached again a new level of consciousness and love, right? Higher love, higher consciousness. Also representative potentially of fire signs for some of us in our life. Or the divine masculine himself, right? Which is represented by the king of fire in the tarot, which is Mars to me, the masculine planet of love. It makes total sense. Blocks to the union. Spiritual growth. Because we're going through some of this stuff, it's sort of like the Chiron and Aries thing, Chiron and Pisces thing, rather, that I was describing. Because we're going through this spiritual growth and healing ourselves, that may be the very reason why we're unable to grow with you in this moment. But then again, near future, blessings. This is another card also of air and fire. And speaking of perhaps Chiron in Pisces, here's the moon behind this angel. And the moon in the tarot represents the sign of Pisces. Yeah, I am feeling a lot of air and fire combinations. And air and fire can also include an air sign, and a Scorpio, from which I'm doing, for which this reading is, because again, Scorpio is in part ruled by Mars, the red planet. What the feminine can do. The mystic. This is you being very air signy, maybe specifically Aquarius, the water bearer. The star represents the sign of Aquarius in the tarot. But also, yeah, some water. You got all this blue here surrounding you. What you can do is be kind of high priestess-like, right? Pay very close to your attention, to your intuition. Very close attention to your intuition. Listen to it, follow it. But also, you may be doing some telepathic communication, right? Speaking from your third eye. The high priestess, which is what I feel when I pick up this card, is someone who uses her intellect, wisdom, intuition, emotions. And you can see that she has all those things right in this card, right? Here's all the blue, all the emotions, all the airs, the wisdom, the intellect, the logic. And she takes all of those when she's considering something and what her next move should be, if anything. She's also super observant, but she's got this huge third eye here, right? The saying in the scriptures, let those who have eyes see. This is to what it relates. That those of us whose third eye is open and incorporate what we see through it into our decisions, be directed in our steps by those things. So that's what the feminine can do, the mystic. And again, this may be an air sign in your life, and perhaps specifically an Aquarius. Or a Scorpio, again, where Mars, their ruler, is located in Aquarius. It's right now, it's like there's been a reversal. Uranus, which is Aquarius's ruler, is located in Aries, which is ruled by Mars along with Scorpio. And Mars is in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, like they've traded places. What the masculine can do. Ooh, forgiveness. And this is not only you being the one who is forgiving masculine, this is you seeking forgiveness, humbling yourself, dropping that pride, dropping that ego, humbling yourself, and taking account for whatever it is for which you need to take account. Your 50% responsibility in whatever has transpired. And then being willing to give that also. You got to be willing to give and receive. Right, the forgiveness. Beginning with ourselves, that's part of healing too. And it's, not mistaken that it's sitting here under the spiritual growth or facing head on the blessings. Because this is something that's required. Letting go of negative emotion is what allows for transmutation and for the blessings to flow. It's not a mistake that it's crossing the heaven on earth too. This could be onto what we're holding. The inability to forgive is onto what we're holding. Guilt, regret, resentment. Those are all negative emotions. Negative cords of attachment to other people, perhaps. That's of what we need to let go in order to give way to the blessings. So you see this, it's not a mistake. And then again, it's all connected to the spiritual growth and to us growing as part of the trilogy of light, or the Trinity. What the universe would have the two do, and it will fully support them if they affirm to do it. Enchantment. Here's your air and fire again, or your Venus. and Mars. Coming through to heal us head to toe. But we have to allow for it. We have to surrender to it. If you can see, I'm going to hold this close and hopefully out of the light. This woman has scars all over her face and neck. Can you see that? Talk about Chiron, the wounded healer. Right? She is wounded. But she's allowing for herself to be healed. Not only is she allowing for it, she is in full surrender. You couldn't be more in surrender. You couldn't be more vulnerable. She is nude. Can you see her breasts here? The outline. Right, there's her breast. She's nude, or at least topless. I'm presuming that she's completely nude. She's topless. Her eyes are closed. Her head is tilted back. So despite whatever this is through which she went that caused all this damage to her exterior, she's a force on the inside to be reckoned with, and strong enough to admit, I need help. I need help. I need support. I need the universe's support. I need karmic healing. And here it is. And what this card in this placement is saying is if we do the same, that is what we will get. And the outcome. Outcome is healing too. And perhaps oneness is what this is speaking. Because now, in this card, we have someone facing front and center. So this is a strong confidence that's coming through here with this card. Front and center. Definitely completely nude. You can even see her pubic hair here. Breasts exposed. Eyes closed. I don't see any wounds on this one though. They're all healed. They're all closed. Completely at peace and in a place of oneness with the universe. So that's through which we can expect to go over the next 2 weeks or so in connection to the new moon. And I just want to see by the time of the Gemini moon, what this moon wants to give us also, beginning with health in this, my past life oracle deck. 1 second. Let's just shuffle these up a little bit. So we ended on blessings before and saw a reflection during our reading. But since we used these, just in case it wants to repeat a message, let's shuffle a little bit. So blessings again and birth. Very much about death and rebirth, especially for me with this Pentecostal dove here and these 3 rays. We have the energy of 3 again, Trinity, trilogy, however you want to look at it, creator, abundance, right? Creativity. And then this very Scorpio-like energy of birth and a new start that also makes sense with a new moon in general. Scorpio or otherwise, birth and golden path. This is my Wizard of Oz card. It makes me feel very much Wizard of Oz. Last week, I was like inundated with Wizard of Oz, everything. It was all over the TV and everywhere. Anyway, the reason is because of these rainbows and, of course, this yellow brick road like path, the golden path. And it is very similar to the journey because in the journey, we're, on the way down the path to, toward the emerald ray, the ray of healing. And in the movie, in the play, they are on their way down the path toward the Emerald City. So very much the same sort of message that on the way, you sort of figure out how to heal yourself or how to seek help toward your healing in both cases, right? By the time they got to the Emerald City and met the wizard, they had all, figured out what was, how to heal themselves. How to heal themselves. And that they could have done it all along. That was the even bigger message. Birth. Sacred union. Okay, so on that note, that's probably enough of the shuffling. So this could be the rebirth, the birth of something new. Somebody, who's single and has not yet, had an encounter with their partner, but feels they have one out there. Could be meeting them near future, very unexpectedly with this moon. I'm feeling unexpected meetings, unexpected reconciliation, and some unexpected breakups. And those are probably between people who also started their partnership or officiated their partnership during Venus retrograde, which is not necessarily recommended. But I think that some people have, and just as quickly as they felt, the bond was forged, it will fall apart. In any case, these are what I'm talking about now: the birth of, a bond without necessarily a title. Like, it could feel official. You could be resolved to being official. You can even make it official if you want. I'm not going to discourage that. But like I said, it's not necessarily recommended until Venus is direct, which is not far off. But certainly I've been feeling the birth of new relationships. And look how watery this card is, right? So these two together are very much representative of a fresh Scorpio energy, I would say. That was it again. There it is again, like they're still showing it to me. And also answered prayer, which is very Scorpio, very air and water, and particularly Aquarius. So that water bearer again, and the Scorpio with the butterfly here in the center with the sacred union. So whatever we've been praying with regard to sacred union, maybe again reconciliation or to meet someone, manifesting that in the earthly through Venus. This card is very much representative of her, right? Because it's Earth. She is like the mother of that, ruler of Taurus, Libra, and Libra, where she's currently located, retrograde, and Gemini. So this is very much her energy here. I don't know why I shuffled again. We were done. So, but I guess I was meant to. All right, so Earth Connection is our bottom energy. And here's the masculine's card, and here's the feminine's card. For the butterfly deck, we ended on Welcome the New, or at least when I picked up all the cards, Welcome the New. So to give this a little bit of a shuffle, get some rest. This could be like sleep on it if you have to make a decision. Some of us do physically need to get some rest, very literally, so that we can, as part of our physical health, even if you're working toward, let's say, weight loss, like that rest is necessary and you might not realize it. A certain amount of sleep and restful sleep is required in order to do that. So it's different. Some of us need to do that. But then I also felt like, yeah, sleep on a decision that you have to make. And then some people might be taking a break. Maybe you need just a pause. Doesn't mean things are over. And when I say things, that doesn't even necessarily mean romantic. Any type of situation, you may just want to step back from it for a little bit. Take a pause. Get some rest. Maybe in preparation for the new. Get some rest. And parental care. This has been coming up a lot, and it's been going. I've been seeing it and hearing about it with different ones of you. People having to put their parents in nursing homes, in hospice, and different things to maybe, move closer to them, move in with them. Some of you may be moving out now and you're looking for a different care because you're moving out. You're going to get a nurse for your mom, your dad, whatever. And then some of it is not maybe necessarily their health, but more of some sort of, emotional, a family situation going on between the two of you. Somebody needs support. We need talk. And so that's what's going to be happening also. This can also be you with your own children. I was feeling something earlier in the reading about adult children. So it can be that too. Yeah, I'm getting, it can very much be that. This can be, two older adults, maybe my age or even older than that, who knows. But just, people that are grown. If they had children, they too are grown. And so now it's time for you to have like your own life. So the parental care is like it's like self-nurturing is what's coming now for this. Maybe you need to go on vacation. Get some rest, like take a break from everybody. Could be just the two of you or just somebody as an individual. Get some rest. And realizations and epiphanies. So the rest is what can help us with this, right? We sleep on something so you can come up with a decision. Maybe in your dream, you'll receive a message. Or just for mind, for clarity. To sort of rest the chatter that's in our heads. Can even be meditation. That can be just to put your mind at rest for a moment, put your body at rest. It doesn't have to be like going to sleep for hours. Just taking some time to, be still can bring on the realizations and epiphanies as well. Realizations and epiphanies, and keep the faith as well as dietary changes back. Because you had some sort of realization or epiphany, you are now moving, making, strides toward moving things that you ingest in your life. Maybe not through your mouth in the form of food or drink, but things that you take in, you are making changes based on I know what I need to do sort of moment. And remember in the beginning, I said that this moon was going to cause us to go to like the deepest parts of our psyche. And, of course, there's going to be some realizations. Boom. What'd I just say? It's self-care. It's self-nurturing. Even the parental care. It's self-care. For many. Of course, not for all. It's a general reading. So reading for a bunch of people out there. The angel therapy cards. You are a powerful light worker. It's safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings great blessings and loving service to the divine. And opening to release, which is very much like a death card, right? Which represents the sign of Scorpio. Work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves your purpose. So death to that thing. And that's okay. Everything has like a season. You are a powerful light worker. Manifestation power. Use your spiritual gifts and your natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. That's very Gemini. Very magician. Powerful light worker and goddess. Express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. So very moon. In fact, here is a moon here. Feminine energy of surrender. Goddess. And lastly, visualize success. See yourself doing well in this situation and have faith in a positive outcome. Goddess. Crown chakra. Pay attention to your ideas as they're messages of true divine guidance. sent an answer to your prayers. This is what I was talking about, quieting our minds and just listening. It could happen in a moment of meditation. You can do both at the same time. You can go to sleep listening to binaural tones meant to work even while you rest. Listen to some specifically for crown chakra healing. And you just, kill two birds with one stone, as they say. And the romance angels are beginning with reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And again, I do feel a lot, including unexpected reconciliation. Like you were not thinking this person was going to come back anytime soon. But you got to let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. I actually last week had a reconciliation. A emergency reading client. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And I don't always do this, so I don't advertise. I know some people say, call me for an emergency reading. I'll give it to you in 24 hours and all that kind of stuff. And that I don't knock how anybody lives their life, does their business, in combination of both. But me, as a psychic, it's like my life and my business are sort of the same thing. And because I'm an actual psychic and not just a card reader, I'm not here churning out readings boom, 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 like a machine. I need my mind to rest sometimes, my spirit to rest. I can't just be connected, in perpetuity to other realms and stuff. That's not good for me or for the people for whom I'm reading. And it's not fair to anybody. So what I do is I try to do the majority of my readings by the Saturday following the order. Sometimes I don't, because sometimes I move to, I'll even go to do one and I move to put it down or something and to do it at another time. And because I'm psychic, I follow that guidance, that's just what I do. But the same way I do that, when I got this email from this woman, the first night, I probably wasn't, it couldn't work out schedule wise anyway. And, she wasn't intent to get it that night. And the universe probably did not want me to respond to the urgency that she was expressing. Sometimes it doesn't, when we're anxious, it wants us to be still, again, listen. And so the next day, I gave her a time when I would be available. And she said, oh, no, that's not going to be good. But sure enough, when that time rolled around, it was good. So she was like, can you do it now? At this time. And it was the time that I had originally stated I could do it. So we get into the reading. And then it was a half-hour reading she purchased. I stayed on the phone with her 2 hours. I didn't charge her for the other time or whatever. I knew I was on the phone with her for 2 hours. It wasn't like I was unaware. I consciously did it, but because this was somebody that needed healing. So again, that's how I am. Because it's my life. It might be my business, but it is my life. It is what I'm here to do. My purpose. What my soul's calling, my anointing, whatever you want to call it. So. I'm not just, checking people out and like, oh, beep, beep, the buzzer went off. It's your time's up. Bye. And, tossing people out. I, remained on the phone because I wanted her to be in a place of healing, or at least on an assured path toward healing. I wanted us to be in agreement of that's what was going on. So by the time, fast forward, by the time we're done, we're wrapping up here. She had been talking about how she did not want this time the divine masculine to come back, because it's a 7-year relationship, back and forth, together, not together, together, not together, and they both have karmic too. Still. I don't want him back. I don't care. So, I gave her a few scenarios. No, I don't want him back. But ultimately, she decided that she wanted a divine light cleanse. So she orders a divine light cleanse as well. I kid you not. Not the next day, but the day after that. I did speak to her the next day about what she was experiencing. And, you know, she had been buzzing around, all kinds of extra energy, because that is one of the potential side effects. She had like cleaned out her closet and got rid of half her wardrobe. You know, she was really energized. And then the next day she says, oh, he unblocked me. It was not an expectation, you know, like she was really surprised. I'm saying some of us can experience those things, those kind of surprise. Oh, and sure enough, I didn't finish it. Sure enough, contrary to all the, I don't care if I ever see him again talk, she was very happy that, you know, of course, that he had unblocked her. And she's like, should I reach out and stuff like that? So I'm expecting some other surprises like that, even for people who have not necessarily had energy healing with me or wherever. Although I do think that the guidance that we're getting is going to be required. So for example, like the crown chakra. And when I picked this up and having this conversation with you guys, behind it is another one like it, also upright. Clear yourself. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. So if we have these things and they are blocking us, they are blocking our flow, then it will not happen. It was when I sort of helped her to clear the muck, you know, that was obstructing them from moving forward, that all of a sudden the floodgates opened, right? This opened. That's what I think we can expect. Anyway, reconciliation. Back to this. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. But that's, you know what, that kind of ties into what I was saying. Releasing and like healing the past. So you're clearing an obstruction there. That's going to give way to reconciliation or other progress forward. And it will be worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Worth waiting for. One more. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So even if you're not expecting it, if you think positively, maintain your faith, boom, here comes something for you. And free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. This will be freeing yourself from a karmic, I put that in quotes because, you know, we say a karmic in like a derogatory term, but that's not karmic. It just means like destined of the universe with a lesson attached to it that we have to learn. So even a divine union is karmic, technically. But I'm saying from like the karmic or from, again, negative emotions, negative cords of attachment, just old, stale energy and situations and circumstances is from what we have to free ourselves. Also, your mind, getting back to crown chakra and the idle chatter that's going through our heads and the need to rest and be at peace for a little while, you know, free your mind and the rest will follow is how the saying goes. So that's what's up with that. All right. A romance card for each. And lastly, from my past life deck, I'm beginning with health. And a lot of what I talked about today has been about health. And again, what this moon is going to be about, what Uranus retrograde in large part and has been about, and what it will Uranus and Taurus will continue to be about, what Chiron and Aries and Chiron and Pisces retrograde has both been about. Chiron, of course, again, is the wounded healer. So that's what he's all about. Health. Now, when this card shows up, it's like your healing and your health, and perhaps also the fact that you are a healer of others, is impacted and influenced by your past lives. And so like a problem, an issue that you may have now, a health concern or something, it can be from a past life. And in some cases, it's, you know, believed that you may have incarnated so quickly that you didn't have time, like reincarnated so quickly that you didn't have time to deal with or to heal, to heal the issues from your other life. And it just sort of, it's remained with you. And so you continue to carry like these scars that you can't see from, you know, other times your soul has been here. Also, to the more positive, as a result, consequently, you've developed all kinds of ways to heal yourself, or at least workarounds, right, in order to get through life and stuff. Now, if you are a healer, this card can also mean that you struggle with maybe charging people for your services. Maybe that's my problem. I spent 2 hours on the phone for a 60-minute reading. I'm kidding. But yeah, but maybe, who knows? It's because you lived like in a communal way in the past. And so people traded things for barter, you know, well, okay, this is your gift. You know, you do this for me, and I'm an artist. I do metal work. I'll give you a copper bowl to use, you know, because I'm, you know, whatever. Totally random. And that's how people paid for services. Hey, in the Western world, though, all right, the United States, the UK, wherever you are now, Canada, yeah, people pay for services. So those are the 3 ways that this card can be relative to you. And opening to Greco-Roman, where you may have started your healing journey or health provider journey. Maybe something attached to Hermes, right? Especially with this symbol, Greek Roman. But into imprisonment or slavery. Maybe you were practicing some sort of healings and it was seen as, you know, a witch. And so you were imprisoned for it. Imprisonment, slavery. Yeah. Persecution, inquisition. Imprisonment, slavery. But the need for forgiveness. Something like that may have happened between the two, or with other people by whom you're surrounded at this time. You know, you could have been their victim in another life. And so that's why you guys are having difficulties now. But it's not too late for the forgiveness. Transportation. This can be about moving forward. I mean, it does have literal meanings according to the book. This card, when you pull this card, it is about actually like travel or a connection to experiences regarding transportation, some of which may have even caused like phobias, like, you know, fear of flying. I don't know anybody with a fear of trains, but I guess that could be a thing. Why wouldn't it? You know, stuff like that. Fear of being in a car accidents. Actually, I dealt these last so that I could do them last, and now they're on top. I guess I should have done them first. And they began, I moved that deck purposely. They were sitting on top. I should have done it first. Anyway, we're going to do it this way. All right, so to the masculine from the romance angels. Ooh, deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship, which could be why you need self-care. And actually, we saw this in the first spread with the masculine, and he was acknowledging it, or his higher self was acknowledging it, that with the spirituality and religion card, and with the one that he felt about the feminine, the dietary change. And I said he was making changes to his ideology or something because he was not living his truth. And so this is evidence of that. But I'll pull another card to like clarify this one, and we can see what it goes with. So you know what? I'll do this now. I'll move this deck over here. Here's was the overall energy of free yourself. I'll put it right there so you guys can see when I take the next upright card that, you know, nothing's going on back here. All right, so that's that. For the feminine, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Yeah, but it could be influenced by his too. So this could be in part ours, and some because you're still married. That's a problem. Some is with regard to the sacred marriage. That's why religious factors would show up. It's absolutely impacted. It's a sacred union, right? This represents the sanctity. But some, you know, in some cases it's because of the masculine, because of what he has going on. So that's how you're more indirectly affected that time, or your love life is indirectly affected because his is directly affected. So, you know, it impacts you as well. From the angel therapy cards to the masculine, be willing to forgive. There's a lot of that. I talked about this a bit. I just remembered that I had started to tell you guys about how I've been talking about the parental care card, and I never finished it. Last week, both readings, the weekly reading, or this week's weekly readings, the love reading and the general for the masculine, I pulled a card called Parents from this deck, from the angel therapy cards. So that has been an issue. But what I was going to say was also this theme is reoccurring as well with the masculine, with the feminine sort of waiting for an apology, not realizing the masculine feels that he's the one that was wronged, betrayed, hurt. You know, perhaps on their last meeting or conversation or something. Or so, and in some cases during separation, the feminine did something. Masculine, you know, is aware of it, hurt, lost, you know, some trust, some faith in her. And so he's the one that's waiting for an apology, and you're sitting and thinking, you know, everything's fine. So again, we got to be willing to forgive both, but this is his advice. Be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. In some cases, it's because, getting back to past lives, you know, you've done this before to each other, one or the other. You know, in a past life, you abandoned, you know, him, or he abandoned you, or whatever the case is. And so it's like a repeating thing. Your soul remembers. You don't remember, you know, likely in this lifetime, but your soul remembers. So that's what's the inability to forgive is attached to. And the angel therapy cards to the feminine, shield yourself. So this is the second time, because I just picked up that other card for us that said clear yourself or something like that. Yeah, clear your energy, right? Protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. So this may work for some of us, right? You're able to do this. Where we are not able to do this and we feel that we need protection is when you contact somebody that can do it. Again, me, somebody else, whatever. This is about healing, not trying to sell you stuff. You know, I'm just saying I have it available. Some people have it available. Okay. Masculine. Courage from the butterflies. This could be as part of the reconciliation, or as part of the apologies, or your ability to forgive, right? Here's the strength to do that, to get through a situation with your parents or with your children. Whatever you have to face is the courage here. A lot of Leo attached to that, of course, also. Leo energy. Feminine, for us, hobbies. Busy work. For those of us that do find ourselves in a pause or a separation, it will be time for, again, for self-care and to calm and quiet one's mind and a lot of us are doing this nesting stuff. I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I had randomly asked my kids to get me some yarn and a new crochet needle from Michael's. You know, I hadn't, after not crocheting for years. That's one of my old hobbies. I'm going to pick it up. The masculine from the Universal Love Oracle, soulmate. And it's, you see this re-emerging from a lotus flower. And here's another rainbow, Wizard of Oz. So this is what we have to look forward to by the next moon phase, by the Gemini moon, was what these things were to represent. For the feminine, blessings. Just like the second spread said, near future, blessings. And lastly, from the past life oracle to the masculine, lessons and blessings. How awesome is that? And for the feminine, knighthood. This is very Knight of Swords. It means we might have to make some decisions and we might have to take action quickly. What the book says about this card is like once a knight, always a knight. And so you were probably some sort of, you know, soldier, warrior, protector, and you are that again. And it's very much impactful upon your life now and your behaviors. Particularly in relationships, you want to be this protector, and maybe sometimes overly protector and nurturer and taking care of, you know, the weak, I'm going to say. So not just romantic relationships, relationships in general. You might also be really interested in this period of time, right? Find yourself really into movies or figurines and things from this time. And also, this is a sign of loyalty, of being particularly loyal to those who deserve it, or you feel deserve it, warrant your respect, earn it, you give it back. Can also, of course, be representative of air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Swords, Knight of Swords. The masculine's deception card. All right, well, I guess this is for everybody because it was not the next upright card, but I picked it up, which is odd. I meant to pick up the whole deck. I reached my hand out to pick up the whole deck, and then I just picked up this one card. So new love, I think, awaiting us all. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings, or this new person can easily be your old person with new energy, right? Your old relationship with new energy. That old way and old lines of thinking, old behaviors having died, and then this is birth. So very Scorpio again. New love for everybody. But this is the next upright card, okay? Free yourself, upright. This is upright. To clarify deception. Passion. So it's again, it's a like by lying in the past perhaps about what you wanted, what you desire, what you need, about what and whom you are passionate. And so you were trying to be something other than. It's basically what I said already. Live a different way. Impress the neighbors, your family members, your friends. I talked about this in the love reading too. I was feeling this really strong. A new edition, if it isn't love song came up. You are guided by the angels to go after your passions. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy, masculine. Stop lying to you and to anybody else who's, doesn't like your love life. It is yours to live, as is your whole life. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the Scorpio new moon reading. If you like a reading of your own, you know how to reach me, Queenofswordsthelightworker.com, or on any of my social. A lot of you guys are my friends. Healing, same thing. I do encourage you also to join Divine Oneness if you are interested in group support towards all things health, mind, body, soul, finance, And I just came up with that basically because I was both a biology and an accounting major, right? That's in what I am formally trained, certified, as well as the right and license and ordainment to pastor and provide any religious rights. So combining all those three things is how I came up with mind, body, soul, and finance. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We're supporting each other in there with that. And also to catch divine girl talk and share your stories or read other people's, contribute advice with your sisters, you know, and perhaps some brothers that want to become involved. It's girl talk in quotes. You don't have to actually be a girl. Thank you to all my subscribers, viewers, subs, sponsors, supporters, YouTube and Patreon. I appreciate you all. Like the video if you actually like the video. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Check it if you're already a subscriber to make sure that it hasn't, you know, gotten unchecked. And I'll see you again soon. Namaste.
My feet won't touch the ground.